In the last video, we looked at active transport. When we talk about membranes and transport, we looked at how active transport is when you try to go from a hypotonic solution, that's where solutes are less concentrated, aka less stuff is there, to a hypertonic solution where there's more stuff. So hypotonic to hypertonic. Now we're going to be looking at passive transport. And passive transport is actually almost the opposite of active transport. You want to go from passive transport is when you're going from hypotonic. Is when you want to go from over here I meant hypotonic to hypertonic. Passive transport is when you want to go from hypertonic, the opposite direction. You want to go from hypertonic to hypotonic. And what this is really talking about is going from where you have less stuff, more stuff. Hypotonic means more stuff. More to less. And the reason that this requires no energy is because it's natural. It's a natural thing that happens. Molecules always move from where they're more concentrated to where they're less concentrated. Now, the way that you can remember this is if you and a whole bunch of complete strangers were in a room with a closet, and you all were put into this closet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You have a ton of people all in this closet, like 30 people, all trapped all in this closet. And suddenly the door opens. If this door opens, none of you are going to stay in that closet. Every single person is going to try and move out and come to where their own space is, and they're going to try to find their own space and just really spread themselves out as far as possible. Now, molecules do the same thing. If a whole bunch of glucose molecules are outside of the cell, and there are only like 2 inside, a bunch of them are going to keep moving into the cell until the concentrations are equal in a state that we call isotonic. Isotonic means that they are equal in concentrations. And diffusion is this process. Diffusion is passive transport. Diffusion is passive transport. And so that's the new term. And osmosis is diffusion of water. One thing that I found pretty interesting when I learned about the hypotonic, hypertonic, and isotonic is a cell in a hypotonic solution will burst because water always moves to dilute concentrations which are higher. So if we have a cell, a red blood cell, water is going to move in and the cell will lyse or explode. But if it's put into a hypertonic solution where there's a lot of solutes outside, it's going to dehydrate as water leaves the cell. Now, this is why if you're trapped out at sea, you should not drink seawater, because seawater, compared to your blood, is actually hypertonic, and so it actually